Hi, this is Bill, and I'm going to show you how to set up your workspace. Now, the foam board that each of you got is black. My foam board is orange because I got it at a different time and they were out of the black. And what I'm going to do is show you how to set it up so that you can pin your pieces to it and work on your stick and tissue model. The one you're looking at right now on camera is the P-51 Mustang. We have a number of those. We also have the Japanese Zero. We have the English British Spitfire. We have the P-40 Warhawk. So we have quite a collection. They're all built exactly the same way. Just the design, the shape of the plane itself is a little bit different. So all of you will have a very similar experience. So if we're going to start off, I'll get my model out of the way here. And I'm going to use the orange board that I have, and I'm going to set it up on the table. Now, where you set this up should be a place where while you're working, nobody's going to be able to, they don't have to come in and clean, and they don't need to move things around. And when you're finished working, you can pick up the board and move it somewhere else with all the stuff on top of it. It works out pretty well. I did mine on the dining room table, and every day after I finished working on it, I would move it back into my office. So here's what you do. You're going to take your instructions, which come in a big piece of paper, and I'll show you what it looks like before you cut it in half. The instructions come on a huge piece of paper, and this is what it looked like before I literally, on the dotted line right along here, I cut the piece in half, because you're going to want to be able to put this on the board, and if you have the entire piece, that won't work. The instructions tell you how to do this. So I'm going to get this one out. Obviously, you can see here that's what the wing is going to look like, but we're going to start off with the fuselage. So here's the fuselage that we're going to be building, and what I'm going to do is fold the paper here just about at the tail section, so that the fuselage will now fit on the in my case, the orange board. So I'm going to put it down on the board, and I'm going to take some tape. The green tape you have in the kit will work, and I'm going to put some tape at the corners. All right, and I'm going to put it at the corners that are off the screen right now. Have to take my word for that. And now I'm going to take some wax paper. Now, wax paper, for those of you that don't cook and so on, this is what wax paper looks like when you get it at the store. And it's really simple stuff. When you open it up, it's kind of see-through. As you can see, when I put it down on there, you can see through it. So I'm going to take a piece of wax paper that's long enough and tear it off. And I'm going to put it on top of the drawing. And I'm going to take some more tape, and I'm going to tape it in the same places where I taped the drawing down to the board. So I'm going to put some in this corner. Then I'm going to kind of make sure it's nice and smooth on there. Put some in this corner. And I'm going to put some halfway down, because I'm going to be resting my arms on here and moving around. I don't want this to shift. So I'm going to move this down about halfway. Put some there. And put this up. Okay. So now I have taped the wax paper on top of the drawing, on top of the board. So when it's time for me to start working, I am going to bring my pieces out of the box, and you can see there I have two flaps there and there which have not been cut out. So I would take my razor knife and I would pick around on those pieces and cut them out, and I'll show you kind of a close-up of why you have to cut them out with your razor knife. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll see how well this focuses if I bring it up close to the camera. You can see that along this edge right here, there's a little spot that is still white where it hasn't been cut with the laser. And there's another one up here, and there's another one over here. So if you pretend for a moment that I have this down on the board, I'm going to cut through that first one. I'm going to cut through the second one with the tip of the knife, and I'm going to cut through the third one down here. And once I cut through there, I'm able to take this piece out, and I'm ready to go ahead and pin it to the board. And the way I'll do that, I'm going to be pinning, since I've already built the plane, I don't have this piece to pin yet, but the way I would do it is I would put it, line it up here, and I would put my pins through, pinning it right down to the board. And then I would take the next piece that I was going to pin on there, put that down and pin it. And then the two edges which come together right there, that's where I would glue. Okay, so I get my second piece out and I get that lined up and I put the pins in it. I'm then going to take my glue and I'm going to come along here and I'm going to apply the glue along that seam in between the two pieces of balsa wood. So that's the pinning and then the gluing. And once the glue sets, and I would give it, I'd give it at least a half an hour, although it sets a little bit faster, as you will find out when you glue your fingers together, which happens all the time. When that happens and you get glue on your fingers, then you're going to want to use what's called Uncure. And it is in a green bottle. The glue is in a purple bottle. And if you glue your fingers together, all you have to do is take some of the Uncure and put it on your finger right there. And I usually have a cloth nearby that I can use to kind of wipe up the residue, and that will get the glue off your fingers. It's acetone is the chemical inside of here, and it's the same thing that is in nail polish remover. So I hope this has been helpful to show you how to tape your drawings down onto the work surface and then how to put the wax paper on top. So I hope you have fun doing your first work on your model, building the fuselage. You'll see how much to do in the instructions in this lesson. I worked on it about 3 hours each week when I did it. It takes about 4 weeks, so that's a total of approximately 12 hours to build the model. And relax and enjoy yourself. It's a very pleasant situation, just you and the wood and the glue and putting it together. Don't rush it. Try to relax and enjoy yourself. It's great to listen to music while doing it and so on. And don't forget, at the end of your 3 hours work for that unit, take a picture of how far you've gotten with your model and post the picture in Classroom. So have fun, guys, and I'll see you this week during our Google Classroom meet. Thanks. Bye-bye.